and welcome to episode 357 of the All You Can Hear podcast. My name is Colt, the Tornado Wrangler, doing the twisty. I'm doing the finger thing.
Yeah. Fingers. Everybody put their fingers up.
You gotta put your finger up and do a twirl like tornado. Ooh.
Yeah, you don't face your fears, you ride them.
Yeah, you ride that nader until you explode.
You ride that tornado until you're shooting all over the damn place.
Let's go in this tornado and blow it up with fireworks.
Yeah, right after we jerk off.
I just did a full clap, but it didn't register.
Yeah.
What's your name?
I am Assistant Tornado Wrangler Wenzel. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. I just assist the Wrangler. I'm not a full Wrangler.
True.
I just assist.
Yeah, and you can't tell the Wrangler what to do either, because Wrangler does what Wrangler wants.
Yeah. I just have to sit there and watch as, he rides the dirtiest, nastiest tornado dick.
Oh, yeah. And we're not just here to talk about tornado dick. We're talking about the two. We got twins movies in the Twister universe.
Yep. So, I meant to tell you to say twins, but I'm glad you did it. You just did it. That's, man, if I could give you an award, I would, Colt. Thank you.
Yeah, just know on the upcoming of this movie, when it was the trailer in every single fucking movie went and saw this year, every time the scene came on where the guy said, "We got twins," I would say it back with him, because that's probably the best quote in the entire movie, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's
because that guy was putting so much fucking energy into it, and I applaud him for that.
It's too funny. It's too funny and too like a vocal stem kind of.
Twins. So, we got twins.
Yeah, so it's easily like quotable. But no, we're doing two reviews. We're going to do kind of a short review of the first film that came out in 1996, Twister, and then we'll jump on to the full review of Twisters that came out back in June. It was June. It was last month. No.
That was June.
July. Jesus Christ. I have it right here in my fucking face, too. July 19th. Jesus.
Yeah. And when we say short review of Twister, we mean short because let's just say it's not memorable or necessarily good.
Let's save your talk for when we get to that. Let me pull up my Twister review real quick. I don't remember my rating. Okay, there we go. All right.
I mean, you might as well. You want to go ahead and like talk about how or why these movies are important to us, because not necessarily important to us, but like important in the culture around where we are. Because I remember when I was little, Twister was one of Cody's favorite films, as what I'm assuming, because he would have it on all the fucking time, and whenever tornado weather would happen, he would be walking around thinking like, this Twister's coming, I'm gonna stop it, blah 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 blah, and then he just cries in the corner because tornadoes are scary, and he scared me because I was a little kid and I just cried with him. That's why this movie's important.
Yeah, and like Colt says, there is some cultural relevance here. So if nobody knows, here in the U.S., there is a specific place in the U.S. known as Tornado Alley. That ranges from multiple states, specifically Oklahoma, a lot of the Plains area. But over time, there's I should have looked this up beforehand. I'm sorry. I don't know if unofficially the Tornado Alley has been extended, just because in the past decade there's been more tornadoes here in like the South, specifically Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Georgia, our area. And us too, like growing up, as Colt said, Twister has been shown literally in classrooms, at like it's been promoted here in Alabama, even long after its it's been released, it's just everywhere, and that's because over the past two decades, more tornadoes have been happening. And then back in 2011, there was the famous April 27th tornado that killed over 200 people, maybe over 250. And
It was an outbreak, and
tornado outbreak, yeah,
it was a fuck ton of tornadoes across multiple states. It was a
yeah.
really crazy day.
And it was insane. And specifically to like where we live, Tuscaloosa, lot of damage. When I mentioned the over 250 people, a lot of that was here in Tuscaloosa. A lot of people died here, and a lot of damage. A lot of people we knew, their houses were completely destroyed, and they had to have their homes rebuilt, and they had to move. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, we even have footage of people locally, like here in town, taking footage of the tornado that's in the city. It's crazy. And then, I mean, there was even a tornado that dropped down right outside my house. It destroyed part of our fence. So yeah,
And it was as close to my house as it was basically in the backyard. If it was like, say, 3 football fields closer, we would have been probably hit pretty bad. I just know that JoJo, which is another host from the podcast history, their entire house was destroyed. They got lucky because they came to our house since we had a basement at the time. And that's why they are alive.
yeah, no, it's crazy. And like when I say my fence, I'm talking about our backyard fence. I mean literally, like there's a forest behind our fence. It was in that forest because all the trees back there were destroyed. They've regrown since then, but like there's like a noticeable path through the trees where the trees are still growing or where they had been destroyed. And like Colt said, JoJo's house was destroyed. So yeah, so Twister has a lot of relevance for us, and especially Twisters coming here to Alabama. I mean, it was gonna be a big deal. Yeah, so that's kind of the relevance these two movies especially have for us here in Alabama. But yeah, let's just get into the first film. So yeah, Twister came out in 1996. It was directed by Jan DeBont. I should have looked up how to say their name. I'm sorry. It's a runtime of 113 minutes. It has a budget of 88 to 92 million dollars. Do you want to guess the box office, Colt?
I'm already looking at the box office number right now.
Damn. Okay, so the box office is $495.7 million. If nobody knows, Twister was actually the second highest grossing film of 1996, or of the shit, hold on.
It came out in 96.
Yeah, I know. Shit, I can't remember. I forgot I had this open. Give me a second. Oh, come on, man. Was it the second highest grossing film of the 90s, or like let me see.
I feel like Titanic was number 1.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I was right. It was the second highest grossing film of 1996. You can make a guess about or do you know what the highest grossing film in 1996 was?
No.
It was Independence Day.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it grossed about $817 million.
Jesus Christ.
So Twister was 495 million. That's a crazy gap, but I mean,
Independence Day better.
Yeah. I agree with that one. Yeah, but again, Twister has a cultural relevance not only for us in the South, but the U.S. as a whole. Well, I say the U.S. as a whole, the U.S. specifically, but for the South and especially Tornado Alley, that region.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, back to it though. The cast, give you a little cast list here. Helen Hunt plays Joe. Bill Paxton plays Bill. Jamie Gertz plays Melissa. Carrie Elwes plays Jonas. Lois Smith plays Aunt Meg. Philip Seymour Hoffman as Dusty. Alan Ruck as Rabbit, and Jeremy Davies as Lawrence. I say those characters, or those minor characters at the end, because I mean those are big names and they were in this film. I forgot I forgot Hoffman, Ruck, and Davies were in this movie.
Yeah, and Hoffman, it's fucked up seeing him look young.
So young.
It's strange. And also, Helen Hunt is beautiful. I don't care what anyone says. She's still very pretty.
Yeah. So I was telling Colt this. There's a weird thing in like a lot of like shows that like make jokes or jab at Helen Hunt saying she's ugly, which I never understood that because she's very pretty. I don't know if there was something that happened that gained her like made her the end of a joke or something, but I don't I disagree with that. She's very pretty.
Got some cowards out there is my guess.
Yeah. So to give you a little synopsis here, TV weatherman Bill Harding is trying to get his tornado hunter wife, Jo, to sign divorce papers so he can marry his girlfriend, Melissa, but Mother Nature, in the form of a series of intense storms sweeping across Oklahoma, has other plans. Soon, the three have joined the team of storm chasers as they attempt to insert a revolutionary measuring device into the very heart of several extremely violent tornadoes. That is the basic plot. That's from Letterboxd. And don't really have to go too much into it because, like Colt said, we didn't. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think the script is fine or good. It's good. It's not bad, but like, it's just so forgettable.
It's so forgettable that like a week after we watched it, I couldn't remember the ending, and I had to Google it.
No, it was so crazy because like a few days after we watched it, for me, I had forgotten the ending and I was like, fuck, what happened? And then after we had seen Twisters, I was talking to Cole and then I was like, fuck, what happened in the end? I had forgotten the ending again. I couldn't remember it. And I had seen this film like 2 or 3 times before we had to rewatch it because again, I forget it every time. It's so forgettable. I forget most of the actors besides Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton. Like it's just a forgettable film. It's just kind of, I don't know, like they're just going around trying to test these devices they've dubbed Dorothy, and they lose one each time, and it's just like it just feels like a lot of nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just them driving around trying to get these pods, and they just keep losing them one by one until they finally get it, just so they can map the tornado to see the speeds and whatnot, which is cool. I thought it was cool when I first saw it when I was little. I've seen it upwards of 10 plus times thanks to my older brother, Cody, but I still think it's so fucking forgettable and bad now as an adult, but as a kid I was really into it because I remember the last time I watched it was in like 6th grade science, and I really I had some fun with it. I guess it was because we weren't doing actual work.
Yeah.
I assume that's probably why.
Yeah, it's so funny. That was the last time I saw it too, was 6th grade science. We didn't have the same science class, but I remember specifically, well, shit, it's because we were in 6th grade when the fucking tornado happens. That's right.
Oh shit, yeah, we were. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Which you would think that maybe that's a little insensitive, but I mean,
not around here. The fucking rednecks are like tornadoes, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I should mention the cultural relevance too. Just also the morbid fascination with tornadoes too. Like that's the big thing as well. And for the most part, it was kind of more so like not meant to be insensitive. They were doing it like with the purpose of like of again relevance. Yeah, no, it's and the entire time it's like Bill is doing this and he's just getting his rocks off. He's like, oh my god, it's been so long since I've done this. Oh, but I need to get a divorce from Helen Hunt. Damn it. Like, okay.
But through their work, he's like, oh fuck, I'm falling in love again because of tornadoes, and I gotta get this new woman off my back.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, we won't really go into spoilers for this. I mean, we could, but it's there's no reason to go any more into it. We
I mean,
thought it
there's
was
not much to spoil other than like it'd been funny at the end of the movie when they're like tying themselves or they're wrapping themselves around the pipes. If one of them, specifically Philip Seymour Hoffman's character or anyone, because he's the funny guy of the group, as a joke, he wraps the like wire around his neck and he hangs himself basically via tornado.
my
And
joke was Bill Paxton.
okay, either way, you have either of them, and then their pants fall down and they poop while the tornado is spinning and sucking them up.
Let me give. So yeah, that's been a joke me and Cole have made. Is whenever at the very end they're about to be sucked in a tornado and Bill Paxton's trying to save him and Helen Hunt, they're tying each other to this pipe, and it would just be really funny if Helen Hunt's fine, but Bill Paxton's like, wait a second, I got this, and then immediately she looks away and then cuts back, and he's basically like a flag in the wind, just flying like paper while he's accidentally hung himself, and his pants are down and his butt's out and his shit's coming out.
Since whenever you die, you tend to loosen your bowels.
This joke, every time we talk about it, I can't I can't stop laughing. It's just such a funny image in my head because it's such a simple thing. And anyway, yeah, so and it's been like 28 years since this fucking movie's come out, so there's nothing really to spoil too.
I mean, at the time, it looked good at the time, I'm assuming.
Oh my god.
But good God, it's not looking good now. The scene where the cow fucking flies through the thing, through the screen, was so bad. I can't even imagine them attempting that shit in Twisters, just because of how like out of it would take me.
The thing is you say that, but it's just the fucking the CGI for this film is just bad. And my thing is too is I don't know how many times I'm very curious about how many times it's maybe been like not restored, but like yeah, restored, I guess, or maybe remastered or whatever. Because I'm like, there's only so much you can do for this fucking movie. Like it's yeah, okay. So there was an Ultra HD Blu-ray with new Dolby Atmos audio mix that was released on July 9th of this year. Like, okay, good, but also too, I don't know how much more crisp you can make this because that CGI fucking sucks. it just it just doesn't hold up. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it was acclaimed for its impressive special effects, resulting in Oscar nominations for both its sound and visuals. Okay. All right, buddy.
Okay, the sound department, sure. The visuals, like that's the best they could do at the time. That's fine. It's just now, like okay.
They should have gotten a real tornado. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's right.
You can easily find them. We just got coward actors not wanting to go in the field and get their boots on the ground.
Oh, I didn't know this. Apparently, Bill Paxton later narrated the storm chaser Sean Casey's 2011 documentary Tornado Alley. Huh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Also, rest in peace.
What?
No, I was gonna say rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton died?
Yeah. Remember?
I forgot.
Yeah.
Damn, 2017. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah, to be fair, I forgot to until we watched Twisters.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, why is he not in it? But yeah, I just didn't Google it. Turns out he's been dead for years. Oops. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace.
Oh, that's fucked up. 7 years.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
3 stars. Yeah. Don't want to watch it again anytime soon. It's not that it's boring. It's boring, actually. It's not that it's bad. It's just
it's okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna change my review. It's 3 stars. I'm sorry. It's just okay. It's mid.
Midster, as I'd say.
Yeah, I know mid would be 2.5, but fuck you.
Yeah, suck my nut. How about that? My rating means what it means for me.
Exactly. Thank you. All right. Now let's get to some actual good movie. Okay. All right. So, So now we're gonna go into Twisters, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who directed Minari. You should go check out Minari.
It's a big surprise because that movie's fucking rules, and this movie rules as well. But it's just such a different cultural situation. But I'm glad he did.
Yeah, yeah. No, we seeing trailers for Twisters, we didn't necessarily think it was gonna look bad. At first, I was kind of like, okay, a second movie, like Twister was, like whatever. But then seeing it constantly and then actually go watching it, or hearing about the ratings and reviews from it, we were both very surprised. But we'll get to that later. The screenplay is actually by Mark L. Smith, who wrote the screenplay for The Revenant.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet, but that's crazy.
That is crazy. Story is by Joseph Kosinski, director of Top Gun Maverick, Oblivion, and Tron Legacy, dude.
Okay, he's got some good shit under his wing.
Chung, Smith, and Kosinski, like that's stacked. Holy shit. And the runtime is 122 minutes. I remember when I saw that it was like 2 hours, I told Cole, I was like, they better do something interesting, because the last movie was nowhere near that long. And I'm like, I don't know. I felt it. I'm like, holy shit. I do not want to feel this for this movie, because that's insane. The budget was $155 million. Current box office now is $285 million. So it made its money back. And then a quick thing I wanted to mention too, that I remember, something that made me roll my eyes before, like a long time ago, was the soundtrack. So it's called Twisters the Album, and it was released by Atlantic Records. It features 29 songs from primarily country acts, including Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, Bailey Zimmerman, Megan Maroney, Tucker Wetmore, Tina Adele, Jelly Roll, and others.
That's the funny thing about this movie. The only thing I don't like is the soundtrack. But the soundtrack is very fitting for the movie, considering its setting. I just don't like the music.
Yeah. No, the soundtrack fits. It's just when I saw there was a whole fucking country album, I was like, that thing's gonna fucking make like crazy money, I bet.
Oh yeah, it's going to be booming all around us where we live in Alabama. And people are going to be loving it, and they are.
Yeah, and I was going to say, no more than likely, it's going to help the film. So that's fair. It makes sense. Can't complain about that. But yeah, and then going to a quick cast list here, we have Daisy Edgar Jones as Kate Carter, Glenn Powell as Tyler Owens, Anthony Ramos as Javi, Brandon Perea as Boone. I didn't realize that was Brandon Perea. Okay, wait. Now I'm doubting myself. Hold on.
It is him. I just don't know who he is.
No. Let me check. Okay, Angel from Nope.
Oh fuck! Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I was trying to make sure, because I was like, is that not Angel from Nope? That's him. Crazy. Very good. I love him. Maura Tierney as Kathy Carter, mom. Harry Hayden Patton as Ben. Sasha Lane as Lily. Daryl McCormick as Jeb, Kate's. Oh yeah, spoilers, by the way. Spoilers. Oh yeah,
spoilers. Twisters, we're spoiling it right here.
Spoilers. Jeb is Kate's deceased boyfriend. Girna Shipka as Addie, dead.
Fucking Nick, brutal. I think her death was probably the most brutal, because that fucking siding of a house just smashes her out into the tornado.
Insane. Nick Dodani as Praveen, also dead. David Corenswet as Scott, aka Superman. He plays Superman in this movie.
Yes. As soon as I saw him, I was like, that dude looks like Superman, and he is Superman. Then, the new Tim Gunn? Fuck no, James Gunn.
James Gunn. Yeah. He's gonna be playing Superman. Tunder Adebimpe. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. He's playing Dexter. Katie O'Brien as Danny, and then Paul Scheer makes an appearance as an airport traffic police.
That's the guy that was like, dude, you can't fucking park here, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he's great. He's always good in his Adult Swim stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Funny dude. But anyway, yeah. So as usual, we're gonna go through the plot. I'm just pulling this off Wikipedia, and then we'll talk about the film as we go through it. So Kate Carter works in Oklahoma with storm chasers Javi, Addie, and Praveen, and her boyfriend Jeb, alongside a Dorothy 5 Doppler. Dorothy. In Twister, the first film, there was only 4. There's a 5th. Now, the team launches barrels of sodium polyacrylate beads into a tornado in hopes of reducing its intensity and securing funding for further research. However, the amount of chemicals is insufficient to stop it, and the crew is caught in the middle as it intensifies into an EF5. Addie, Praveen, and Jeb are killed while Kate and Javi survive.
Which means that Kate, since they were expecting an EF1, which is the weakest of the tornadoes, Kate feels the guilt of finding or chasing the tornado because she did not expect it to be an EF5.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess if nobody knows the ratings or the scales, that's how it goes. EF5 is the most powerful, right? That's correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the enhanced Fujita scale. So yeah, and because she was also directly in the middle of it, like Colt said, it was brutal seeing all 3 of them get sucked up. But Kiernan Shipka's character especially, because a house just slams right into her. Like Jesus. Like
yeah, the first guy just straight up. As soon as he gets sucked, I'm like, "Fuck, that guy's dead." There's not really much surviving that.
And then Kiernan Shipka gets sucked up, and it's just like, oh well, oh man, oh no. And then she gets slammed by a house. It's like, oh shit, she's definitely dead. It's crazy. Like also too, Kiernan Shipka was in Long Legs and this. I really enjoy her.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Just not many roles where she survives long.
I haven't seen her in Sabrina the Witch or whatever, but
yeah.
I definitely want to now, just because she's, I don't know, kind of fun. 5 years later, Kate works at the NOAA office in New York City. That is, I actually don't know what that stands for.
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, aka weather monitors.
Yep. Javi, working for a mobile tornado radar company called Stormpar, offers Kate a 1-week position with his team to test a new tornado scanning system using phased array radar. Kate initially declines, but later has a change of heart after Javi sends a news report about a tornado destroying a town without warning and assuring her that they have a chance to save lives. Kate and Javi join the Stormpar team in Oklahoma, which includes Javi's business partner, Scott. Popular YouTube storm chaser Tyler Owens, known as the Tornado Wrangler, also arrives in Oklahoma from Arkansas, looking to capitalize on a predicted tornado outbreak. Tyler is joined by his crew of Boone, Danny, Dexter, and Lily, as well as British journalist Ben.
Fuck, what did they say? If you can feel it, chase it?
Yeah, if you feel it, chase it.
Chase it!
Yeah.
Well, fuck, what is it? Oh my god. Skip something right a tornado?
What?
Something right a tornado? The shirt he gave the mom. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, hold on. Twisters. Tyler Owens. Also, Tyler Owens is such a country ass name.
Yeah, that's a white boy name right there. 100%.
It seems like such a name or somebody we would encounter like here.
I feel like we went to school with a Tyler Owens.
I know. I think that too. I'm like, we definitely went to school with the Tyler Owens. It's giving me so many different fucking things. Was the I want to say the shirt that he gave her had a fun graphic on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it had him like wrangling a tornado.
Oh, it says "Not my first tornado."
Fuck yeah.
That's yeah. It's not my first tornado. That's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. No. This section right here is oh gosh, I'm trying. It's been
an introductory section to all the cast, and it's fun because it shows Tyler Owens' crew, and you're thinking like, oh, there's some dipshit YouTubers with their like, you think they're like the annoying kind of YouTuber that are trying to profit off of tragedy and just be in general dicks, while this British guy is there to document the YouTuber, basically, to see like what's the work behind the phenomenon of this guy with 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because we're kind of at the other side, basically, of where we were in Twister. Because in the first film, we were with the more unprofessional, jerry-rigged kind of group of people, where they were competing against the more professional, more organized, more company-like group. And now in this, we're on the other side, where with the uh, organization company, more professional, more like uniform group, whereas Tyler is the other side. It's like Helen Hunt's kind of crew.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Tyler's doing it for fun, while Daisy Edgar Jones' group is just doing it for profit. They're just being some shits,
well,
which
you
we
you
don't
say
know that yet.
well, you say fun, but for the most part, as far as we know, like Daisy Edgar is her and Javi are doing this to help people, and for the most part, tornado hunting and this has always been in to help people, because the more information they can get, the more data they can help in like emergency alerts and warnings and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the Tornado Wrangler's not getting any science out of that. He's just doing it for the views. But in the story, it's not like that. He's actually helping for the aftermath stuff. Spoilers.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, because Colt says that, and there's a they yeah, it's not in here, but there's a part in here where they go into a tornado and they shoot off fireworks.
It's fucking crazy. I don't know how that would work. I kind of want to see it happen in real life.
Kind of, yeah, because that was one of the things that the subscriber asked him to do was, can you shoot fireworks in tornado? And the answer is yes, and the fireworks still work. And he has a special rig truck that puts in drills into the ground, so that's how he's able to stay on the ground while tornadoes around them. But
Yeah, I just remember every time I see him do that, it just reminds me of the TV shows where they're storm chasers, and they had this like super badass homemade turtle basically that would drill into the ground in like 4 different anchor points just to be beat the fuck up by random things thrown around by a tornado.
yeah, no, I mean they captured that pretty well. I mean, these guys are like I said, like not not uniform. They're jerry rigging, making these kind of like Mad Max style rigs to go out and study tornadoes.
And they do drive kind of like Mad Max at points.
They do. It's crazy. Um, but anyway, Storm Par and Tyler's crew chase an EF1 tornado that has touched down in nearby wind farm. Kate suffers a panic attack, causing her to drive away, rendering her unable to help Javi set up the final scanner. The team tracks another storm, which produces another EF1 that also produces a satellite that splits off. Storm Par chases the satellite after noticing that it is intensifying, but as it reaches EF3 strength, it takes out the third scanner. Kate and Javi barely escape and drive to the nearby tornado-ravaged town of Crystal Springs to help recovery efforts along with Tyler's crew. Having dismissed Tyler and his team as glory hounds, Kate is surprised to learn they use merchandise profits to aid tornado victims, while Storm Par investor Marshall Riggs profiteers by purchasing tornado-damaged land.
So Anthony Ramos invited Daisy Edgar Jones over here just to fucking help him get that fucking money up.
Yeah. So that's the you get kind of this weird vibe from them because they're talking to the investor, but it's all very hush hush. Like she can't really be around them. Javi and his partner have to handle him directly. Yeah, and then that's what we find interesting about Tyler is that they're always selling all these like T-shirts and cups and stuff, and then even Kate makes a jab at him saying that like, oh yeah, you can trust a guy with his face on a T-shirt or whatever. But then come to find out that whenever they're um, whenever they're giving food away and stuff, they're giving away for free because all the money they use is goes towards relief and aid. So even if they're not like studying or like going hard into like scientific research, they're still trying to help and provide aid to people.
Which I think is a great thing. I wish more YouTubers would take note of that kind of behavior.
And then Tyler invites Kate to a nearby rodeo in Stillwater where they begin bonding. Yeah, because earlier there was kind of a, like I said, Kate was kind of getting irritated at Tyler, and so, but then when she finds out that they're giving aid, he kind of tries to reconcile with her. Gives her a pizza. She doesn't eat it.
Yeah, she just gets the pizza, slams the door on him, thinks about eating the pizza, and says, "Fuck it, we're going to the rodeo." So they just leave the pizza behind in the room. So that's a fucking cold ass pizza that I'm assuming just rotted away.
Yeah, it's just gone, man. And it looked like a good pizza.
It did.
Fuck, I don't even know if I want to talk about this fucking movie anymore. This pizza's gone.
I'm so fucking pissed.
Anyway, yeah, so a large EF4 tornado hits the rodeo as it's happening. Kate leads Tyler and nearby residents to shelter in an empty motel pool. Also, we get a cameo from Bill Paxton's son. He's there at the motel and he's trying to get a room and he just doesn't listen. He's being an asshole. And then whenever the tornado comes, they try to just drive away and leave, and him and his girlfriend or whatever get sucked up and die.
Yeah, fucking crazy. Because the scene starts with them at the front desk of the hotel being like, "Hey, where the fuck? You should fucking help us out." And then someone comes in like, or Stacey Edgar Jones comes and said, "There's a tornado." And while the woman's like, "No, there's no tornado. If there was a tornado, we would know, blah, 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 blah." And the whole building just gets fucking ravaged. So they run into their truck and get sucked into oblivion.
Yeah.
So Bill Paxton, your fucking legacy just turns out to be a piece of shit in this movie.
Yeah, because I told Colt that his son wanted to kind of he was in this film. His little cameo was for his father's legacy and kind of dedicate that to him, but he gets sucked up into a tornado and dies. Like, I get it. He's just having fun, but still.
This is for you, Dad.
Like, Jesus. Yeah. Let me see, where was I? Yeah, so she takes them to a motel pool, and in the aftermath, Kate confronts Javi about Riggs' intentions and claims Javi is ignorance. Okay, somebody needs to fix that. To the victims, causing offense to Javi, who thoughtlessly blames Kate for their colleagues' deaths. Distraught, Kate retreats to her mother's farm in Sapulpa. Tyler follows and uncovers Kate's previous research regarding the tornado disruption experiment. Kate initially declines Tyler's offer to help retry the experiment, but later accepts. The next day, they release the beads into a passing EF1 tornado, but fails to dissipate. Using scanning data provided by apologetic Javi, Kate hypothesizes a change in the experiment to correct a previous oversight, namely adding silver iodide.
This is the scene where Glenn Powell gives the mother a shirt, and I was thinking, like, he just had sex with her mom.
No, it was so funny because that morning he's just walking out of the house with his button up or whatever, holding it while he's just wearing a white t-shirt and his cowboy hat, and we both looked at each other. We were like, he just fucked the mom. He just gave her the ride of her life. She just rode a tornado dick.
And if you can see it or feel it, chase it.
You don't face your fears, you ride them. And he feared her mom, so he rode her. Yeah, that's correct.
Yep. That didn't happen, but it felt like it.
It felt like it. And he gives her a t-shirt, which was also just really funny too. It's like, oh wow, he just fucked her and he gives her a t-shirt. Nice. No, and there was also a funny scene too where her mom was talking about Kate's character and how around the time when she was like a kid, she was so fascinated by tornadoes, she ran out of the house butt naked. Like, okay, mom, stop being a bitch, stop saying this shit to this man. Like, okay. Very good. And also there's her character also has this little model like small town, basically like a town square, that she occasionally destroys by creating a tornado to test out, like, on a smaller scale, her her stuff, and I just think that's brutal.
I think it's pretty cool.
I don't know, it's cool, you know, if you're like in a fucked up god kind of way.
Yeah, that's what I am.
I mean, just think about it. Like who? Like those are little people. Like the little people that live in those houses, and they're just constantly destroyed.
Yeah, and if I was there, I would just be like peeing on it. I mean, like tsunami.
Yeah, I guess you and Kate would get along real well.
Yeah, I'd be pissing on her stuff. She'd be so happy that I'm pissing on her stuff.
Don't. I just remember. just a woman clapping like yay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Piss.
That's
You brought this up.
I
No,
know, it's a crazy image. Okay, anyway, the team tracks another tornado developing near El Reno. Javi and Scott are nearly killed, but they escape just as the tornado catches fire after hitting an oil refinery.
This shit was crazy.
It was crazy. It just completely destroys this oil refinery. And I'm like, yeah, you know, if I was in their position, I'd be like, no, I'm done. This is it. Like a fire tornado, eat my dick. No way.
And meanwhile, fucking Javi's truck's on its side. Just, Jesus fucking Christ.
I would be like, bro, I'm out. See ya. The tornado explodes in size, becoming a mile-wide EF5 that begins shifting towards El Reno. Javi attempts to rush into town to help Kate and the Wranglers recovery efforts, but Scott pressures him to continue the mission for Riggs. Javi abandons Scott by the road and quits his partnership with Riggs. This is very satisfying. He sprays mud on Scott. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got a muddy Superman. That did something for someone out there.
Oh, yeah. With all shelters full, Kate, Tyler, and their team evacuate the townsfolk into a nearby movie theater. I think Frankenstein was playing.
Yeah, it was Frankenstein.
Yeah. A derailed streetcar and debris traps Tyler, and Kate struggles to free him. Javi arrives just in time to help save Tyler before a water tower nearly collapses on them. With no basement to take shelter and the tornado heading straight for the theater, Kate drives Tyler's truck into the tornado center. She fires the silver iodide into the tornado, and after a brief struggle with the controls, she successfully launches the polyacrylite beads, but the vehicles are returned. The tornado rips the theater open, nearly pulling Lily and Tyler out just as the measures take effect, and the tornado dissipates. The team rescues Kate, and celebrates the experiment's success.
In this scene, you're worried about fucking Tyler getting the good old Bill Paxton from Twister 1 effect with the pipe scene.
Also, too, this is where Boone says, "I love you" to Kate after they get her out of the truck. I thought that was a very fun moment. Sometime later, as Kate waits at the airport for her plane to New York to gain funding for further research, Tyler shows up. Upon learning that flights have been delayed because of strong winds, the two swiftly depart for the storm. A closing montage shows that Ben's story focused on Kate, and that Kate, Tyler, and Javi have joined in a new tornado radar business.
Which I thought was a pretty good ending, because I was worried that it would just be like, end it with a kiss, which they didn't. They ended it with a tornado chase.
No, I will say I'm so glad with some of the marketing this year for a lot of films besides Disney or Marvel. They've been very good at subverting expectations, because whenever you're seeing this movie, I made this joke to Colt all the time, where I was like, oh yeah, a city girl, prim and proper, falling in love with this dirty country boy. Wow. Like, you know, that's kind of what you get the vibe. But then when you watch the movie, it's like, no, that never happens. They're never really like in love, quote unquote, or anything. It's just two people who have a passion and they share it. And then even with Javi, you kind of get like some kind of unrealized romantic tension with Javi, but at the same time, again, it's just kind of let go, you know? It's just nothing comes of it. And I think that's not in a bad way, but like not to be like it feels like it would muddy up or distract from the real story or from the real objective here. And again, their passions, which is for tornado wrangling.
Ye fucking haul. And another thing, the airport scene, this could just be the autistic brain in me, but I thought like the whole like, oh, they're gonna kiss, but hey, tornado alert, planes can't fly. let's go to my truck. What you don't know is we haven't told you is that Tyler fucking drills his truck into the concrete outside of the theater. And the whole time I was thinking, they're not going to allow him to leave. The police are going to be out there towing his truck and probably going to arrest him for property damage. The way they're going to let him go.
And then not only that, fucking Homeland Security and FBI are probably going to be all over him for like questioning him because like, why did you do this? Why, like, all this TSA too is like going to be on his ass.
Yeah, I've honestly, I feel like the airport probably got shut down because there was probably a fear of, I don't know, some kind of terroristic activity, maybe a truck bomb where it's trying to secure itself in place from the tornado coming in. I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, they would probably jump to a very terrible conclusion. They'd think, oh, it's a car bomb. Like, oh my god. But they would do that. So
I'd rather they did that than they didn't in a real situation.
Fair. It would be very crazy for somebody to park their truck, drill it into the ground, and then just fucking leave.
Yeah, just run into the building. Okay, that's not worrying.
That would be insane. No, and then this is where me and Colt also made the joke that it'd be funny if Kate looked at the tornado and then she looks back to see Tyler, Glenn Powell, who's already hung himself flying in the wind with his pants down. And then Javi comes in. He's like, what happened? Is that a tornado? And then Kate looks away again and then looks back to see Javi done the same damn thing.
Fucking flailing together. Fuck.
And we say this too. We're not talking about like a graphic, like,
No.
No, we're talking about like silly, like cartoon, like they're flying like fucking flags.
Yeah, their bodies are flipping and flapping like they can't in real life.
Yeah, it's just so funny to us. Yeah, and I also found this out too. Daisy Edgar Jones talked about how there originally was a kiss between her and Glenn Powell in the movie, but it was Steven Spielberg who pushed for that to get removed because, again, I think it'd be a detriment to the fucking movie.
I agree. Thank you, Spielberg. Another good choice from the man.
A very good choice. I agree. But yeah. So overall, what do we think about Twisters?
It was a huge surprise. Really, I thought it might be fun, maybe like a 3.5-star movie, but I came out it being really fucking good and one of my favorite movies so far of the year. Not top 5, but really fucking good.
Yeah, I agree. I like you. I thought it was going to be a fun movie. That's really all I thought. But then the reviews kept coming out saying it's actually very good. And then after seeing Twister, I was like, well, it can only really go up from the first film. And then we watch it, and holy shit! Like, yeah, the script is good. The effects are great. They really captured the spirit of this culture of tornado hunting, and I mean, for the most part, the South, but it's Oklahoma. Oklahoma is very different from
tornado
Alabama.
Country right there.
Yeah, but it's still, for the most part, it's the South.
Yeah.
It captures that essence, and I mean, all of our actors here are great. Performances are really good. I mean, Anthony Ramos, Glenn Powell, and Daisy Edgar Jones are very good.
Even the fucking press stuff that they did was hilarious and fun to watch because Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell are basically flirting the whole time while Anthony Ramos is like trying to say like, hey, yeah, the movie, the guys, the movie, but they're over there flirting and almost kissing the whole time. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
It's pretty funny. They have chemistry, and I think because they have real chemistry in real life, or chemistry in real life. Yeah. So, yeah. No, it was a huge surprise, and I mean, more memorable than the first film. I mean, I
remember the whole movie. I didn't have any issues with remembering this one.
Yeah, no, and I still remember the ending because I think the ending that gets me is the fact that it gets me because they don't do the kiss, and I think that's what really sticks out for me. The ending is that it sticks to what I think is kind of a perfect ending. It's just them following their passion, and because in the first film they fucking reconcile, quote unquote, and it's kind of it's kind of more like romantic in a way, whereas this is just kind of, it's not that. And I just think that's great. No, it was fantastic. It was solid. I don't really have anything else to say. My rating for it is 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. 4.5 out of 5. A fucking great ass movie that I recommend everybody else go see it. Go watch it. I don't know if it's still in theaters. It's been in theaters from it probably still is. It came out on the 19th in the US. So go out and watch it if it's still in theaters.
Yeah, it still has showtimes. Yeah, go check it out if you have the time. Go see it. I think it's well worth it. Yeah. Anything else?
Twister 3 or Twisteries? What are they gonna do? Because they can't call it Twister 3 because this one's not called Twister 2. They're gonna call it Twister more Twisters?
Call it Twisties.
Or just Twister, but the E is a 3.
They would fucking do that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I feel like they would.
But if they did do that, I feel like it wouldn't be the same director. It'd be somebody else. Much.
Oh
worse.
yeah, I think the next one, if they do another one, will be bad.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for listening. You can follow us, the All You Can Hear podcast, on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast. Leave us review, feedback, ratings. Tell us what you think. Tell us if there's anything we should review, look at, or whatever. You know, we like to hear you out. We appreciate any feedback. Check us out on Twitter at AYCH Podcast. Check out the Backlog Boys Pod on Twitter as well. Check out Cage and Greatness, Instruction Booklet, all of our shows. Go check them out. Follow us on Blue Sky, aychpodcast.bsky.social. Check us out on Instagram at AYCH Podcast. Check us out on twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear. Go to our YouTube, All You Can Hear, where VODs from our Twitch are on, including the instruction booklets stuff. Go check those out. And you can follow me, Wenzel, on Twitter at WenzelWilkie. Follow my art, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky as World of Wenzy. Follow my Bookstagram, Wenzel Banters, and my link tree has links for everything, including my Letterboxd and Goodreads.
My name is Colt. Follow me on Twitter at ColtD00. Blue Sky, ColtD99. That's all. I love you. Tornado movie.
If you feel it.
Chase it.
If you feel it.
Chase it.
If you feel it.
Chase it.
If you feel it.
Yeah.